Hello Tubesters, it's me Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today it's just a quick show and tell on the 1 in 35 scale diorama, some of the pieces I've got for it. I start off with a picture frame. Now this picture frame has got smaller and smaller, as in what I've been looking at, as the weeks have progressed. I don't think I could get it any smaller, or they'd just be stood on a little wooden plinth. This picture frame is 13 centimeters by 18, which is 5 inches by 7 inches, so it tells me. So one picture frame. It's got obviously I don't know if it's glass or plastic, but that'll be a good base to do stuff on. I have this, as you can see, everything more apart from the picture frame, everything I'm showing you is fairly overkill, but I've had these for years. I was going to do something with them again, war game related, and so far it's not progressed further than being stored in a cupboard. So I've got some of that, was it high density foam they call it? So I've got that. I have hot back from the floral suppliers. I've got this floral wire, you know, that they use for tying in the flowers and things on wreaths and things. That wasn't too bad. I think it was about £4 for that lot. So, and obviously I can snip it down, I'm not sure yet. This is 300mm long. So yeah, and this is I'll take it's plastic coated of some description. So that's going to be for my wire trees. Now I got this at the same time. Yes, now I know this is totally out of scale, if you can see me. But I've got, originally I was going to do a bit of a side of some water, and these were going to be like a reed bed. That might get totally scrapped yet, I'm not sure, but although they're quite, obviously they taper off at the top, but because they're crimped, they've almost done the job for you of making like reeds. And they're only like 90p for I think the bright green was 90p and the coloured one was less. I would be painting them over, so you know, I wouldn't be leaving the colours on them. But yeah, I thought that was a good find. I mean, on a 1 in 35 scale figures, you know, you could be cutting away at these forever. And as they get fatter down the bottom, obviously, you know, you could always just cut them down the centre. So yeah, they may get used and they may not, depending if I change my mind yet more times. I've got these resin barrels, so it's flat at the bottom there. Made a bit of a cock up with these. These were an eBay buy. I think it cost me about £3 for 4 with free postage. Lovely barrels, but I didn't realise I'd actually pressed the button for the burnt out ones that people have been obviously using for fires, so they're all open at the top. So I'll definitely use a flat scrunched up one. You can't really use them upside down because obviously how they've been cast. But what I wanted to do with the diorama was, although it will be a slightly rural setting, you know, we've got our pine tree or deciduous tree, whatever I decide to do with that. I wanted to show just a bit of, yeah, the guys are in uniform, they've got rifles and whatever, but I wanted to show some type of war tornness without, I didn't want shell holes, knocked out anti-tank guns, anything like that. I just wanted to hint at, you know, there's obviously man-made stuff around. So that at the moment is what I've got. I'm still deciding how I coat my tree. I've seen lots of ways of doing that. Some people, like I think it's Luke Towan, the guy that does the model railway scenery, he uses Woodland Scenics silicone rubber. I take it they do it for casting or whatever, and he paints his trees with that. I've seen, I think the guy's name's Simon on 1 in 35 scale dioramas. I might be wrong on his name. If I do, I apologise. He's done his with plaster and PVA. So I'm undecided on that yet. I'll have to do a few experiments to see. But so that's basically what we're going to have. One taller tree, a couple of smaller trees. Because again, I'm looking on. They do like symmetry with dioramas, and they often say like a high focal point is good. So you know, we're going to have a taller tree and a couple of smaller ones, or even bushes, and they're not going to be 50-foot trees, as in if they would be in the wild, because it would just way over. It's not over scale, but it would be just way too much for that small diorama. So they're only going to be young trees. I did think of doing water, like on the side of water, hence the reed bed. I'm undecided yet. I'm trying to tot up how much all the bits are costing me, which I know might sound silly, but obviously this isn't something I'm selling on, and I always have to watch the pennies. So that's also coming, cost is coming into it, how much I'm throwing at the diorama. So for whatever I tell you guys, it could well change as it goes on, but we'll see. So I think the next part of the project, which I'll show in a couple of stages, will be making one of these trees. And once the trees are made, I'm more or less, and painted the barrels up and a couple of other bits and pieces, I can more or less say, well, that's all the ingredients then to actually put into the setting itself. So thanks for stopping by and taking a look. Sorry if it's a bit boring, but you guys have been kind enough to follow me on those figures, and I just think you might as well see this little thing through to the end. So hope everything goes well with you, hope you're enjoying your hobby, and take care of yourselves, and we'll catch each other on another vid. Cheers.